Hello ladies and gents, welcome back. In this video I'm gonna give you my thoughts about the upcoming semifinals at Monte Carlo Masters. We have 4 guys left. I had 2 of those in my prediction. The other 2 guys are too gigantic upset in my opinion, and probably in your opinion too. In your thoughts, no one would thought that Dimitrov and Davidovich Fokina would reach the semifinals before the tournament. At least not me. But Dimitrov have played great tennis during this clay court masters, so he actually have deserved his spot. I have nothing more to say about that, because even we are used to see an inconsistent Dimitrov through the whole year, through many years that he has been pro. We have also seen that he can play excellent, superbly, first strike tennis. He's a great player overall, but the problem with him is that he has underachieved many times, and people have always hyped him as the baby feather. But now he's gonna face Davidovich Fokina. They have met only once before, and Fokina won that meeting. Tremendously good job by Fokina also, who has defeated Giron, Djokovic, Goffin, and the youngster from America, Taylor Fritz, in a 3-set battle in the quarterfinal. He came back from 1 set down and played great ball striking tennis from the baseline and just moved great on court, even though Fritz had some injury problem. He took the first set pretty easy and comfortable against Fokina. Fokina came back, ate his way into the match. He played his game. He didn't go for the plan B. He stuck to his game, served great, won a lot of points on Fritz's serve. Fritz dipped a little bit. He didn't move great, and he did some critical unforced errors in the important moments of the match. And in the end, Fokina was just too strong for him. He didn't outplay him, but they had some great duels for the match. It was almost equal, but Fokina won the match. Important points that I said, he was more clutch in that match and was the better player. And Taylor Fritz can go home with the flag on top. He did a great tournament after all, in my opinion. And he's gonna face the Bulgarian Dimitrov, like I mentioned, who had played tremendously good tennis. He looks newborn. From what I've seen his matches against Lajovic, Ruud, and a little bit in his latest victory in the quarterfinal against Hurkacz, where after the second set I thought that the air is gonna go out and he's gonna lose, but Dimitrov showed some great fighting spirit in this match. What I'm impressed about Dimitrov in this tournament so far is he usually plays great at Monte Carlo. I think he has reached semifinal once or twice. I forgot how many times, but I was impressed with his forehand, with his serve, and that he has done much less unforced errors through the tournament. And he showed some mental toughness also in the first set, when he was a breakdown twice in the first set, but managed to turn the tables around, because Hurkacz has also played great in this tournament. He has a heavy serve, heavy forehand. He's very tricky. He's very smart. He's great of ending points, very surprisingly for his opponent. And Grigor Dimitrov looks very great, in great shape. He enjoys his time on court. He's the player that have improved the best and impressed me most in this tournament, to be honest. So Grigor Dimitrov have a decent chance to take out Davidovich Fokina. I think they met at Rome last year, where Fokina won. And Fokina is a great clay court player, like all of the Spanish players. And Dimitrov, we have seen, when he's in a streak, he can reach deep. Will it be enough to reach the final? He has now won 4 matches. He defeated Bashashvili in the first round, who had to retire, and then Dusan Lajovic in the third round, because he got him by in the first round, I think. No, in the second round, and Casper Ruud, the clay court specialist, in the third round, and now Hubert Hurkacz in the fourth round. So I'm very impressed with Grigor Dimitrov. He has done more than I expected. and he has sure a great chance of reaching the final. I will give him the edge 60-40 to be fair to Davidovich Fokina, who is not an underdog in this match. Actually, they're going to start out equally, but I think that Grigor Dimitrov's offensive skills are much higher rated, in my opinion, but if his racket doesn't do too much and produce too much unforced errors, I think that he's going to be the guy that's going to reach the final. And we all know that Dimitrov has won one Masters before, and he has won the ATP Tour Finals. Those are his two biggest achievements in his career. All right, then the bottom of the draw, we have two guys that I predicted. One was Zverev, and the other one was Stefanos Tsitsipas. What an escape. What an Houdini escape by Stefanos Tsitsipas. He was down 4-0 and 30-40 in the fifth set, but managed to come back and do the mission impossible. He took 6 straight games from Diego Schwartzman and booked his place in the semifinal. This showed that the Greek, the defending champion, is here. His means business, his mental toughness and willing to win, even though he took Schwartzman off guard. He was just playing so calm in the end. The young Greek, he was not pushing for the trigger all the time, and Diego did plenty of mistakes, unforced errors in this third and deciding set, and finally Stefanos Tsitsipas find the momentum and broke him a couple of times and served out the match. No, I think he broke him when he was up 5-4. But anyway, great performance by the young Greek. I'm really impressed how he managed to escape that loss. He was so close. He was on the rope. The judge was just counting him out. It was like in a boxing match. He stood up when the countdown was at 9. All right. The Greek, his forehand, his offensive skills are tremendously good, and I've always pointed out two things that he needs to improve, the young Greek. It's his backhand and his returns, especially the returns from the backhand side. I think that he needs to stop slicing too much against Zverev. I think that he was going to face a difficult problem in Zverev. After all, they have met 9 times, and Stefanos Tsitsipas has won 6 out of 9. So he's up 2-0 on clay. If you remember the Roland Garros semifinal last year, he defeated Zverev in 5 sets there. So he really has Sasha's number. But Sasha, what does he need to do to improve and play better? It's the usual thing. He needs to serve great. He needs to win more points behind his first serve. He needs a stable and dependable second serve. That has always not been an issue in this tournament, and definitely not the full career. So I think that he sometimes is too sloppy when he's under pressure and make crucial, easy unforced errors. Just look at him when he was up 5-3 in the first set. For an example, he allowed Jannik Sinner to come back into the match. He escaped that barely. Also, he has beaten Del Bonis in the second round and PCB in the third round. And now when he faced the young Italian Sinner, he really was tested from the court. But Sasha Zverev is reliable from the baseline because he has heavy ground strokes and he can really penetrate the court with that huge backhand, with that huge forehand. And his plan, and it must be his plan to continue to play with heavy ground stroke and push the young Greek back. If he can push the young Greek back, he will squeeze unforced errors out of his racket. But the young Greek, on the other hand, what can he do to defeat Zverev? He needs to stick to his offensive game. He needs to execute the points earlier. He should not go into longer rallies, because if they start to trade too many duels from the baseline, I think that Sasha will have the upper hand because he has a better backhand than the Greek. He has Their forehand are almost equal, but the Greek finds more spot with his forehand. He can create more winners from his forehand. So he has to move Sasha around. He has to mix up the game. He has to approach the net. He has to play many drop shots. He has to surprise Sasha. Sasha needs to stay on the baseline and penetrate the court with that heavy ground stroke. And when he finds time, he has to rush to the net also and finish up the points. He needs to hold his first serve. He needs to hold his second serve. The Greek's second serve is much more reliable than Sasha's second serve. And Zverev returns a little bit better than the young Greek, Stefanos Tsitsipas. But we know that Stefanos has learned many things when it comes to serving. He mix up the game. He mix up his serves. He has heavy top spins. He serves out wide, and he really can take Sasha out from the court a couple of 1 or 2 meters, and then we have the first and the third shot is very important here. Point 3, he needs to do something creative, not necessarily a winner, but get Sasha out of rhythm. And I think that, yeah, if I have to choose a guy here, I think that Sasha, it's time for him to win. I had predicted him in the final, so I will go with my prediction again. Sasha Zverev versus Grigor Dimitrov in the final. That is my prediction of the ATP Masters in Monte Carlo. Those are my 2 final guys. Those are the guys that are going to compete for the title. But I think that the Greek is, after this Houdini escape, I think that has even more confidence, because he knew he can take out Sasha, of course, 6-3. They have met many times through his career. They have a great rivalry, and the Greek is definitely not an underdog. I'm just going with my gut feeling, and I will say Alexander Sasha Zverev as the winner. And like I said before, Dimitrov will take the victory in the other semifinal. Both of these guys can lose. I will not be surprised. Definitely not surprised if I see Fokina against Tsitsipas or Zverev against Fokina and vice versa. All right. Thank you for watching this video. Take care and bye-bye.